Have men ruined work? That is the question the New York Times and Ross here brought to us yesterday. So historically, people of all genders worked beside each other. The idea that hunters, for example, were men and that gatherers were women is actually a bias that male researchers came up with in the 20th century. More recent research indicates men and women hunted and men and women gathered. So that idea that everybody worked together persisted for millennia. So you see, for example, farmers were men and women. How did a woman become a farmer? Her family was a farmer. The big thing about that was the norms in the workplace would have been an extension of the family, which is important because major shift in the idea of work in human history comes at the Industrial Revolution, where people work outside of their family and where, for example, young girls are hired to do specific gendered jobs and their managers are men. These men decide what the norms of labor are. Basically, they ruin work so they can decide what is yes and what is no, and who they can, for example, harass. And that's one of the ways in which men ruined work. Another thing they ruined is work becomes very gendered in the late 19th century. So if before your dad was a painter and so you would work in the paint shop too, now there are only certain jobs women are expected to do. Housewife, secretary. What changes is in the late 20th century with the rise in Title IX, women are given equal access to a lot of things men for the last, say, 75 years had not really given them access to. And what happens is women often excel. Right now, women's attainment of education far outpaces men. Yes, I think Ross is right. The workplace that men created to give themselves an unfair advantage did get ruined because the men did not succeed in the way they thought they would. Isn't that what he said?